come on in. You my 3 o'clock? Okay, great. What was your name again? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Wendy. Yeah, go ahead, take a seat. Here, let me go ahead and get that door real quick. You make yourself comfortable. Did you need any water? Anything to drink? Okay. Good. Okay. Well, give me just 1 second. Yeah, I just need to finish this email really quick. Okay, thanks. Okay. Thank you. Alrighty. So how's it going? Good. Well, I'm so happy to have you here. You mentioned on the phone that this is your first therapy session, right? Okay, well, I'm so happy to be able to help you start and see if this is the right fit for you. I have a couple logistics questions, just kind of double checking all of our information. And then we'll kind of get started. I always tell people the first session, maybe the first 2, are always a little bit awkward. Kind of hard for both of us to sort of talk openly all the time. But I promise you that if we are not a good fit after this session or after the next couple sessions, I will let you know. And I will be happy to help you find a different reference or maybe a different therapist in the area with your insurance. So, don't feel married to me. If you don't like me, that's okay. I understand. Okay, sounds good. All right, so let me just pull up your file. Sorry, I know it's really hot in here today. I threw my hair up because it was getting sticky, and I still kind of sticky in here, so sorry about that. We're having the AC people come in a couple hours, hopefully, so pray that they can get everything fixed. Okay, got that. So would you just go ahead and spell your first and last name? I just want to double check it. Oh, okay. I spelled your last name wrong. That was an H, right? Okay, I think I had A. Okay, cool. And then your birth date. Awesome. Perfect. Your address. And that zip code is perfect. Okay, awesome. Alrighty. Yeah, I have your credit card on file. Thank you for confirming. Good. Yeah, if anything happens with that, I will let you know. Okay. And then your age. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I could probably just do the math with your birthday, but you saved my time for later. It's always embarrassing having to pull up my calculator. Okie dokie. So, what brings you to therapy today? I know, kind of a loaded question. I always like to ask because some people, for their first sessions, there's usually a catalyst. So I just wanted to see if there was a major thing that happened or if this has kind of been in the works for a while. Okay. Has that been a recent development? Okay. You are all good to keep talking. I'm just taking a couple notes. I might do that throughout the session. Are you okay with that? Okay. If there's ever a point where you feel like you need me to just stop typing and just listen, I understand. I have a lot of moments like that, so you are more than welcome to correct me. Okay, cool. Okay, and was that a really big reaction for you? Like, I can't imagine the stimulus of the change like that in your life. So was that something that just really drastically affected your mental health immediately, or was that something that happened over time? Okay. Okay. I understand. What has kept you from coming into therapy prior to then, if this is something that's happened over a while. You don't like therapists? Okay. No, that's fine. I don't really like them either. Okay. Yeah. No, I've heard that one before. I always tell people that think that, therapists are being paid to kind of keep you doing poorly. I always tell people, pardon my French, but there are about 1 trillion people that are always going to be royally fucked up. I'm not going to go out of business if you don't want to tell me your feelings. I'll probably be okay. So, yeah. But I understand the concern and the cycle that some people feel it can put you in. I will say our emotions are a pattern, and they are a cycle, and they're gonna rear their ugly heads and then go back to sleep, and then rear their heads and go to sleep. So a lot of the times people that see that cyclical pattern is kind of projected from their own emotions, not necessarily the system, although they do kind of sometimes work in tandem. So it's always my little poof. Okay. Cool. Alright. Well, that sounds like you've been dealing with a lot. Have you been diagnosed with anything prior that you want to share? Is there anything that you feel like kind of puts a block on you mentally, or have you never really been evaluated for things like that? Okay, ADHD. Okay. Do you feel that depression now, or okay? Gotcha. Have you ever been medicated? Okay. We love Zola. She's my favorite of all of them, I'm being honest. Okay. Is that the only one that you've taken? Okay. That one didn't work though. Okay. Alright. So how do you feel about the medication now? Okay. Are those side effects still prominent? Okay. Yeah, I understand. Okay. Makes sense. Okay. Okay. So I always like to ask, just to kind of get a good understanding of the context of your life, how would you say your relationship with your family is right now? Do you have a close connection with them, or a few of them? Okay. Do they live in the area? No. Okay. Okay. Well, do you feel like you have any people, any friend groups, or people that you feel are kind of grounded in the area that you can kind of turn to? Okay. A couple work friends. Okay, you do. Friend doesn't live here though. Okay. Yeah. No, I understand. I've been in a similar situation. I understand completely. Okay. Any relationships? Married? Dating? Okay. It's complicated. Yep. Got it. When you say it's complicated, just to clarify, is there someone that I should know about? That sounds very accusatory. I more so mean, is there someone that's going to come up in your stories a lot that I should be looking out for? Okay. And their name? Okay. Nope. I know the J ones. Okay. Alright. Cool. Any pets? Okay. And you're not in school, right? Okay. I like to ask. The age range is always gets me lost. Wonderful. Okay, so so you mentioned that the reason you came in, yeah, it's kind of a big one. Let's just jump into that. Is there anything in particular that's still kind of making you ruminate on that? Do you feel like it's an ongoing problem that's sort of spread, or is it just something that you're naturally spiraling into? Tell me more about that. Mm. Okay. Yeah, I understand. Okay. You kind of get in those patterns. Okay. Has that been a forever thing for you? Or is that recent? Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say that situation doesn't sound comfortable. Do you feel, when you talk about that, it seems like there's a lot of embarrassment, or you're kind of cringing away from some details? Is there a lot of shame that kind of comes up in that, or is it something separate? Okay. Yeah, I figured as much. Do you deal with that a lot? Thinking that way? Okay. Okay. When you feel better about situations similar to this, or that make you feel a similar way, what have been the things that have eased that shame and anxiety that come from that? Or does it just dissipate with time? Okay. Are you still using? I don't care. Girl. I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't judge you is what I mean. I understand all too well. So, yeah. Yeah. I've been in a similar... Yep. Yep. Okay. Is that something that is having a lot of negative consequences in your life right now, or negative mental patterns in that? Do you kind of think negatively about yourself after using? Okay. I mean, comes with the territory. Yeah. Okay. Does your complicated situation have anything to do with this? Okay. So tell me a bit more about that. How do they add up in this? Okay, and you met them. Okay. Okay. When you feel that way, when you feel that kind of build up, what do they do that makes you so attached to them, or that makes you so like in love with them? Because your eyes are all lit up. Like, what do they do there? You go, oh God, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some things are going to be harder to talk about than others. I want you to know you can share whatever you want. This is your time. I'm not grading you. I'm not checking boxes on what you're telling me and what you're not telling me. I don't know the full story, and I don't have to if you don't want me to. But I always tell people, and I always say this for myself as well, there are maybe intrusive thoughts or things that feel really random, not really in order with the situation that I'm talking about or the things that I'm feeling, but they always come up in my head whenever I think about them, and I never really feel comfortable telling them to someone in my life because they kind of indicate maybe something negative I think about myself. I always encourage those thoughts to be the ones that you share first, because if you don't feel comfortable telling them to someone else because of the way they might treat you consistently in your life, I always say laying them out here is going to be a bit easier than there. But you don't have to tell me anything you don't want to. And at the end of the day, this is your time. I'm just here to help in whatever way I can. I don't do any of the healing though. Like, you're the one healing, so I'm just here to mitigate the confusion in the meantime. Help you sort through everything if I can. Do we want to leave the conversation of your boo thing alone right now? Okay. Yep. Lower end of the it's complicated and not the higher end. I got you. It's okay. I understand. Had a fair share of them myself. So what have you been doing in the meantime to kind of keep you upbeat? Yeah, you have any hobbies? Any hobbies before everything started? Or just things you like to do? Are you an active person or social or introverted, whatever? I told you these first couple sessions were going to be awkward. Okay. So a lot of kind of indoor at home activities. Cool. Which one makes you feel the best, or do you just kind of rotate them depending on what you're feeling? Okay. Do you believe in any like signs? Like, do you have a sign, or do you believe in like personality type things? Like, do you like the Enneagram or like Myers-Briggs, or is there anything that you kind of center your understanding of yourself around? Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I always ask because there's some people that are like, see, I do that, I'm a Virgo, and I'm like, hey, you know what I mean? Or some people do stuff and be like, I told you, I'm a rat man, and you're like, I'm too old, my back aches, like, my birth date starts with a 1, not a 2, you know what I mean? Like, so I always like to ask some people that it makes more sense to explain themselves in those terms, so I didn't know if you had anything like that or not. Okay, cool. Tell me about that. How do you kind of see yourself in that designation? I get that vibe. Totally. That makes sense. I've never heard of that, like, explaining it that way before. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess I never really did a deep dive though. Okay. Teaching me things every day. Awesome. That's cool. Do you feel like that that encompasses a lot of you, or all of you, or do you feel like there's parts of that that you maybe don't fit into? Okay. And those places that you don't feel like it encompasses you, which ones of those do you think stand out the most? Yeah, I'm just trying to get to know you. I feel like it's gonna be easier probably to help with the bigger stuff if I know the little stuff too. See, I don't know about that, because I feel like a lot of the people that I talk to and that I get to see are building up a fail-safe. You know, some people come in and have really boring sessions, nothing's really going on. But we have a couple of those when I first meet them, and then, you know, maybe I hear from them a couple months later, check in, make sure everything's okay. And then, you know, all of a sudden a couple months later, parent dies, and they come in and we don't have to do all of this, you know. They don't feel like they have to weed me out or explain who they are to me. They can just get to the grief. And so I feel like that's what these kind of awkward, weirder, kind of boring-ish sessions are for. It's just building up that confidence in another person that, you know, the second something goes wrong, you can go, okay, well, I've already got that lady I can talk to. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I feel like it's pretty similar with couples too. Yeah. Yeah, most people say, well, we didn't have one, and then try and dissect everything in one session. It's like, oh, it's gonna take a while to figure this pain out. It's gonna be a while. Okay, so what does your work look like right now? How does that kind of balance in with all those hobbies, and the situation that's happening right now? Cool. How long have you been doing that? That's interesting. Okay, do you like it? Okay. If you weren't doing that, what would you be doing? Just anything in the world. If you got to have the hope of a 5-year-old, and money didn't mean anything, and life didn't mean anything, you just got to do whatever, what would it be? That's awesome. That's a cool dream. Okay. Are you able to be active right now in your current job? Get outside at all, or have any activities you do that get your blood pumping? Okay. Sure. Yeah. Is that a common occurrence? Okay. How common? Okay. Just trying to figure out what's ordinary for you, honey bun. You're fine. Okay. Okay. Were you a bit more active as a kid? Yeah, athletics and football and okay. You just wasn't something that you felt compelled to keep, or yeah, it's harder to get back into that as an adult. Yeah. But again, that can come with a lot of shame. Yeah. Not being as capable as you feel you once were, or being able to push yourself like that, or your body being different. A lot of that is biological. Hmm. Okay. All right. I hate this question. It's my least favorite, but I think it can be a good catalyst for maybe understanding a bit of what your goals are. But where do you see yourself in 5 years? I know, I fucking hate that question. I guess a better question would be what major goals do you have right now? Like things that you would really like to do. Okay. Sure. Well, this is a really good start for that, so that's cool. And your job's gonna lend to that too. Totally. Okay. Do you ruminate on a lot of those frequently? It's all been kind of spiraling on the current events. Okay. All right. So, your tactics for handling, for handling what's going on. Do you do any sort of journaling or meditation, prayer time, whatever that means to you? Quiet time, time out, whatever you want to call it. Okay. You've never journaled before? Okay. It's not for everyone. I understand the implications of doing it, some of the stressors that people have, that you might have. There are alternatives. I just think finding a way to take a thought and remove it from your brain without adding a layer of judgment, because judgment's going to lead to shame and more shame, and you're already dealing with enough of that right now. So it's something to consider. Doesn't have to be the end all be all if it doesn't work or if you feel weird about it, but I would encourage it, especially with some of your hobbies. I feel like they would lend to having another little piece of paper to kind of put things down on. It'd be kind of fun. Okay. Are you sleeping well? How many hours a night on average? Just a ballpark. Okay. It's not a lot. Has it always been hard to sleep, or is that a new development? Okay. Do you see that change in the way your mind works and the way your body feels and everything in that? Okay. Okay. Does melatonin work for you? Okay. Yeah, I understand. Well, I think a thing to consider would be the ruminating thoughts, finding a way to release those. I always say my first recommendation is typically a walk with either no music or some music you can kind of zone out to and think about, like still have thoughts and aren't necessarily like rocking out to. And I always recommend that before bed. So maybe like before you do your nighttime ritual, It's kind of one of the last-ish things that you do. Yeah, just to kind of get rid of some of that energy, give space for some of those thoughts to go away. If you're really not into the journaling, that being some form of meditation or just empty space for your thoughts to do what they need to, doesn't mean that you aren't going to have thoughts that stick around or thoughts that make it particularly difficult to sleep. But right now it doesn't sound like you have a whole lot of room to let them go where they need to go. I know, you don't know me, and it's weird advice. I know. Yeah, it gets easier, I promise, and you're doing so well. Most people don't feel comfortable sharing a lot of things on their first session, and you are sharing really hard things with me, so thank you. I hear them all. I'm sorry that you're going through them. I know I don't need to be sorry, but I still am, because you, from the very short time I've had with you, seem like a really lovely person. And it just sucks to be going through some shit like that. I will say, things are gonna get better. I know I have to say that. I'm your therapist, but they do tend to get better. I'm not saying they will, I guess. I don't know what's gonna happen. Anything could happen, really. But they usually have a tendency to balance themselves out, if I'm being honest. Yep. Seen a lot of bad spirals, a lot of bad situations in my time. Feel like I can be the expert on that one. Okay. Well, what else? Is there anything else you'd like to share with me? Yeah, that was a lot for one day. Did a great job. Okay, I understand. I told you you're not gonna hurt my feelings. Yeah. You are more than welcome to just give me a call for your next one. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I know, let me think of some sage words to give you. You're handling the situation really well. You're doing a wonderful job. You're keeping a lot of it in, and I think that has a level of vulnerability and consideration for the people around you. I want you to remember that people can also learn to be considerate to you as well. This isn't something that you need to just bottle up. I understand the reasons for doing that. I understand that safety that comes with that. But please remember that there are people around you that care about you. Even in that situation, there are people that are rooting for you. And if there's not, that's why I'm here. So try and get some rest. Just remember that this is gonna pass. There's gonna be brighter days ahead. Yes, there will also be darker days, sure, but things are gonna get better. The biggest healer for both you and for anything that is stuck in your head is time and grace. Please do your best to try and give yourself grace. I know. Easier said than done, but just give it a shot. And also try journaling for me, if you don't mind. I know. Make it weird. Make it like scrapbooky and crazy, chaotic. Make it look like the Joker's journals. It's kind of fun. Okay. Well, it was so lovely to meet you. I'm here if and when you'd like to meet again. And if you just ever need anything, let me know, okay? That's what I'm here for. Okay. Have a wonderful night. Go get some sleep.